What's up YouTube? How are you doing today? Chana D here, and I just wanted to do this quick little intro so you guys can see my ugly mug, and also let you guys know, definitely check out my social and my website, which should be here up on my left, and definitely check out the links down in the description box below. They're there to help you out. Now that all that housekeeping's out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to open from the internal. We're going to open that first one, the House Techno project. All right, all the pads light up, and if we go into scene pattern, notice we have 3 scenes. Each of those scenes have 16 patterns already in there. So let's hit play. All right, so that's that one. Now we go there to scene 2. That's scene 2. Okay. Now let's go into scene 3. Okay. Cool. So now we can see that there are 3 scenes with 16 patterns. They're all different. So that's a cool way of figuring things out. So now if we go into open, internal, and the Trance EDM project, get back into the scene patterns section. Notice we have different scenes again. Okay. Now let's open up one more just to show you guys, the situation here and what comes with the DJS-1000. And let's go back into scene pattern. Notice again we have 3 scenes. Okay, so I'm not going to play them for you. So if we go back into it, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 5 kits that have 3 scenes each. So that's 15 scenes. Now, the DJS-1000 can have a total of 16 scenes, right? My first question was, how do we get all the scenes from all the projects into one project? All right, so let's go to project, open, internal, and go back to the House Techno project. And since there's 3 in every project, I'm going to name them project 1-1 for the first scene, 1-2 for the second scene, 1-3 for the third scene. Then open up the next project and label that 2-1, 2-2, 2-3. I'm sure you guys figured it out. So the way we save these is we press this file button here, or we tap file over here. We go to export, and then save the current scene as, I'm going to save it as 1-1. Save to USB. Now I've already done this, that's why it's asking me to overwrite. So I'm just going to tap OK. See, because I went through and did all this stuff beforehand just to see how it all worked. 1-2. File, export, 1-3. Save to USB, overwrite. Okay, now let's go back to project, open, internal, Trance EDM, load that guy. Okay, back to scene pattern. Scene 1's already selected. Tap file, export. Now we're going to go 2-1, save to USB. Okay, now I'm just going to speed up the video so you guys don't get bored. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to save every single one onto the thumb drive. Okay, that's enough. You guys get the idea. So let's jump onto the computer and combine all these scenes into one project. Okay. All right, so I've loaded up the DJS TSP project creator, and instead of selecting the import on the project side, the left side here, we need to select import here on the scene side. And then that opens this up, and let's start importing these guys, shall we? Now I've already imported this because I had to test it earlier, so it asked me one extra question. So now to get to the next scene, we just click on this guy and import yes and yes, and again. And as you can see, it's got all different stuff here, so let me just keep doing that. Okay, so now as you can see, I've got all of the patterns in here, and they all have different samples loaded into them. Okay, those are all the 15 scenes that's going to be saved as one project. So we're going to go now over to here, the left hand side, do save as, and we're going to do a CENE tut for tutorial, scene tut. All right, and save it. Okay, now we need to export. So we're going to export scene tut package to volume DJS-1000, which is my little thumb drive there. This is taking a little bit longer than normal because it's, I guess, a fairly large file, I would imagine. All right, so let's now go and eject this guy, oops, and jump on the DJS-1000 and see what's up. All right, now that we've exported everything onto the USB stick, put it in the computer, rearranged everything, saved the file, exported it back to the USB stick, and we're now back here on the DJS-1000. So let's click open, USB, and it is the scene tut package. We're going to open that. Now this is going to take a little while because we're talking about all the samples and everything. They are all loading patterns, 15 scenes, all that kind of stuff. Now I'm just going to let you guys know that down in the description of the video, I have left a download link for this actual file. If you guys want to check it out, download it, use it, go ahead, be my guest. All right, so now let's go to scene pattern. And there we have it. Scenes 1 through 15 all have been loaded. Okay, so let's play something. So here's scene 1, house techno kit. All right. We go to that guy. Scene 2. Okay. Let's go to scene 3. Okay, now let's go to scene 4. So this is now we're into the trance EDM kit. Okay. All right, so you get the idea. They're all there. So how do these things work, and how can you move through scenes and patterns quickly? So let's get back to 1 and 1. All right, so now let's go to pattern 5 in scene 1. Okay, so there it is. Okay, that's what it sounds like. Now while this is playing, if you press the scene button here, you can select from all the scenes down here in the, what is this, the sequencer part. Now if you press, let's go to 11. You press 11, what happens? When we get to 4, nothing happens. Why is that? It's because we have not selected a pattern to go to. So let's select pattern 1, and there it goes. And as you can see up here, it's 11 and 1. Now that's kind of like annoying, isn't it? Because you have to do it in that way. So let's do this. Let's go to scene 3, pattern 5, and then there we go. it changes. Okay, let's do it again. Let's go to 8 and pattern 11. Okay. And let's go to 12 and pattern 5. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so there is another way that this scene jump function works. Okay. So right now we're on scene 10, pattern 13. Press and hold the scene button. It starts to flash, and let's move to scene 7, and it'll stay at the same pattern. Yep. So now we're at scene 7, pattern 13. So instead of, let me stop that. So instead of pressing the scene button and then the pattern button, right? Press scene and then change the scene and the pattern number. If we press and hold scene to where it's flashing, now it's going to jump to the scene and use the same pattern as the previous scene. In this case, it's pattern 6. That's what we're on right now. Okay. Let's go to scene 2, pattern 6. And there it goes. So now you're asking, okay, cool. Now how can I use this? So let's go to scene 5, pattern 10. And it's got a little bit of like a build, right? And then it goes into this. Okay, so let's go back over here. Now, I went ahead and found that 12 has a nice juxtaposition. Scene 12, pattern 10 has a nice juxtaposition to this. So if you were wanting to, let's say, set up 16 tracks or whatever, 15 tracks for a live performance, you've got an hour and a half or whatever, and you wanted to like mix things up, and these are, let's say, all your original tracks. Well, we could do this. Let's hit the button. We're going to do scene jump, and we're going to jump from pattern 5. Sorry, we're going to jump from scene 5, pattern 10 into scene 12, pattern 10. There you go. All right, now let's go into here and get into pattern 5. And then go to scene 1, pattern 5. Now with the scene jump function, you can mix and match your tracks or your scenes. If you know this pattern has a build and this one has a drop, and then this one has a build and this one has a drop. So if you kind of make your patterns to a standard kind of situation, you can build here, you know, and then drop here, or you can have a nice breakdown here, but on this scene and pattern, you have like a different breakdown that kind of matches up. So you can mix and match your scenes or tracks or whatever you want to call them to kind of have this non-linear style of live performance, which I think is really cool. You just have to set it up that way. Now, if we were to go back to scene 1, you know, and just actually play the song, you know. And let's go to the final one. Like, let's say you played all these patterns like you would have if it was like a track. Right now we're here. And now let's just use the regular scene to move to the next song. That's like a seamless change. You know, we're still at 120 BPM. That has not changed at all. And that's the way you can use the scenes as well. If you're loading it up as each scene is a separate track, which is kind of like how they have it here. So this is just some options. I really just want to let you guys know how the scene and the scene jump function and how easy it is to move from scene to scene. So if you set up your track like intros and then, you know, have some regular stuff with some, you know, elements added in on 2 and 3. Pattern 4's got a little a build-ish kind of thing, then a drop, or a breakdown on 5 and it kind of builds up, or you do your breakdown on 9. If you have each of your tracks set up in that kind of fashion, then it's easy for you to mix and match tracks. Now, of course, it would help if like track 1, let's say you wanted to mix and match with track 9 and you had all your patterns in that kind of standardized format. It would also help if these two were in complementary musical keys. But that's another story, you know, that's a little harmonic mixing and stuff like that. But just to give you guys ideas about how you can set it up for a performance. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for this video. If you liked it, go ahead, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my social as well. Once again, my name is Chana D, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.